What is up, guys? My name is Killer Cloud, and in this video I'm going to do a review of the Clear ABS box mod by Cigreen. Now they make a wooden version. I believe it's made of oak wood, which is all good and stuff, and it's got a lot of good goodies inside for cloud chasers. Especially it's a very hard-hitting box mod, and you can't beat the price. The price is crazy. Now the Dimitri box mod, the authentic, I did a review. If you haven't checked it out already, then check it out. The Dimitri was like 280 bucks. Now, a lot of people, when they want box mods, they don't want to dish out the cash when it comes to box mods. You know, for 280 bucks, that's insane. Now, I know they came out with a clone for the Dimitri, which is like 45 or 50 bucks. It's still a hard-hitting box mod, and that's great and all, but I love authentics when it comes to box mods, and Cigreen makes their authentic Clear ABS box mod, also in the wood version, and this goes for $47.99. I just want to say 48 bucks. So if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely a box mod worth having in your collection. I mean, for the price, insane. The hit quality, there's virtually no voltage drop when it comes to this. I checked it out. I had my multimeter on it. I checked the voltage drop. It comes off to around 0.04, you know, as a drop. That's basically nothing, honestly. And for the price, it's not even like, that's not even something I have to worry about. So there's zero voltage drop, and the box mod is crazy. This one's the Clear ABS. Really thick walls. You don't have to worry about cracking this thing. I have dropped this box mod, not intentionally. I've dropped it maybe 4 or 5 feet, you know, at the most, you know, or 2 feet, or like out of my car by mistake, at least 4 or 5 times. And this has no scratches on it. It's perfect, no chipping. It's perfect for holding up. So if you're one of those guys that drops their mod a lot, I mean, I wouldn't recommend dropping this off like a 2-story building, but it holds up well against scratches. It's plastic. ABS. I mean, come on now. It's got a mechanical switch, but as far as if it's a mechanical box mod, it's a semi-mechanical. So there's no DNA 30 chip, no DNA 40, no chips at all. It's an unregulated box mod. So it has 14 gauge solid copper wire that run through it. As far as the switch goes, it's strictly mechanical, and I'll show you right here. So when you push the switch, makes contact. Pretty nifty. I mean, I don't like those amp limit switches that you have to worry about the amperage, and I've had switches that sometimes heat up on me, and it's just, this doesn't happen at all. Strictly mechanical, less to worry about, you know. The less wires in here, the better. So this definitely hits hard. It's a crazy hard-hitting box mod. Now the center pin for the 510 connection, I looked it up. Some people say it's nickel, and some people say it's silver-plated copper. I checked it out on the website. They didn't give a specific what it was. It's very low information for what this box mod is actually made of, about the components inside of it. Now I take a tiny bit like a screwdriver and I scraped the side of the pin just to see what was underneath, and it is copper underneath, so that's always nice. So I'm assuming it's a silver plated copper pin or a nickel plated copper pin. Doesn't matter. As far as the voltage drop goes, 0.04, that's insane. So I mean, if you guys are really nitpicky about what it's made out of, it's a something plated copper pin. That's the best I can give you about the information for it. Now the bottom, the little panels, you can see it right here. If you take the batteries out, you can actually have a little screw, and you can unscrew the panel and lift it out if you wanted to. Let's say it has an arc or something like that and it breaks. You could replace that. So that's always nice to have, especially when you can take out something and put it back in. Also, there is a plated bar right at the top that makes contact with the top of the batteries, the positive sides. You can take that out too. So as far as taking things out, you can take out the bars, and the wire is actually soldered onto these. So I wouldn't recommend taking it out too aggressively, because you might break the soldered connection and then have to resolder. It's just a whole world of mess. You don't really have to do that. Once you get it, you can kind of just use it, and it lasts a long time, and it's very sturdy when it comes to cloud chasing, low ohms, you know, all that good stuff. So I definitely recommend it. Now, the pen, they never said if it was a floating pen or a adjustable pen. It's an adjustable pen. It has a flat head at the top, and you can, you know, lefty loosey raises it up, righty tighty lowers it down. So that's always good to have, especially with different RDAs have different center posts that stick out at different lengths. So to be able to adjust and make it flush to the drip well is perfect. Now I'm going to do a close-up, but before I do that, take some more toots. Alright guys, so this is the gist. Here's the Clear ABS Cigreen box mod. Now, it comes with 2 neodymium magnets that hold the sliding cover door on. So I'm going to slide that off. You put it on, it sticks. Now, the only complaint I have with the sliding door is that it probably needed a few more magnets than just 2, because it's very easy. I mean, like with the slide of a thumb, very easy, and it slid off a few times in my pocket, so that's something to keep, you know, in mind. But the magnets do their job, especially because it doesn't come off when trying to get the door off. It's just that once it slides off right here, very easy coming off. Anyway, that's just a tiny, you know, critique. So here's the door. We're gonna slip that off. Now you can see more of the internals. So then you have your 510 with that massive juice well with the adjustable pen inside. I don't know if you can see this. Adjustable screw with that deep juice well, real big, like that a lot. And then you have brass as your negative posts. You kind of just snap in the batteries, take them out. Non-adjustable as far as, you know, twisting like the Dimitri for adjusting the batteries. It only takes 18650s and it only runs in parallel. So that's why they give you this little tiny screen right here. And it tells you, you know, please insert the batteries, blah, blah, blah. It gives you the positive and the negative, so then you don't put them the opposite way. So then that's always nice. It's in parallel, so it will double the battery life and the amp limit safety. So you have 14 gauge solid copper wire running through this. Solid copper wire in the back. The black wire in the back, if you can see this, black wire connects the bottom negative all the way up to the 510 connection right here. And then you have your positive, which connects the top positive bar onto your switch. So really what you're connecting is your negative. So once you push, it connects your negative. It completes the circuit with the negative. And that's always nice. That's a mechanical switch. It just makes connection with the 510. Very simple box mod. I don't know if you can see right here. I'm going to try to do a real close zoom. There is a Phillips screw right here where you can take off the bar. And then as far as the top goes, it's just a slider. Just a slider, so then it can just slide right out. Now, I don't recommend doing this because that may break off the soldered connections that it has. I'll try to do a zoom up on that soldered connection in the back on that red wire, the positive. It's soldered in the background. It's very hard to get close. Right there it is. You see it. But I do like the way this this box mod is built as far as durability. It's a really nice box mod, especially for the budget. Like I said before, it's super well made. I've dropped this a few times, like I said before, and it really does the job as far as hitting. It's a hard hitting box mod. Now so the 3 complaints are the door sliding with the 2 neodymium magnets, and the second thing is that on some switches I've seen, this one, since it's a mechanical, you have to push down all the way for it to fire. You can't just push it down half, because then it won't always fire. It has to make connection on the inside. So you push it down all the way and then it fires. So it does have a pretty tight throw, and it does have, I don't know if you can see this, but on the inside there are 2 magnets that push it away. so there's always resistance on this switch. It's not going to break. There's no spring inside. It's 2 magnets. That's always nice. So you have to push down the switch a little more than you normally do. There's really no squeak, but there's a little bit of a click. And also, my third complaint is that the batteries, once they're placed in, so basically with the battery, all you do, so here's positive, here's the negative at the bottom. I'm using Sony VTC3s, authentics. They're not the rewrapped, brand that you see on eBay. These are before the Sonys were stopped. Now they're being remade, but these were before they were, they stopped making the Sonys. Anyway, so positive on here, and then you kind of have to push down, and then push in. And that's how it makes contact. So there's 2 little nipples on the positive bar that make contact with the flat top battery. Now I know I can take nipple top batteries, but I always use flat tops. So if the flat top is bending down a little bit, it's not always going to make connection with that little nipple. So keep in mind of that. Once you get the batteries in, they stay in. They're not gonna come out at all. These are pretty damn in, and they're in there pretty well. Now to take them out, that's a different story. It's pretty hard to take them out. I recommend if you have a flathead screwdriver, that always helps. But for me, I try to get the bottom, I try to lift the left battery up a little bit, so it's just, kind of sticking up like this, and then push the top, and then try to just wiggle. See, it's very hard to get out. It's like, see, I guess it's very, very hard to get out, and especially with like wrapped batteries, it sometimes takes off the wrap from the top of this battery, which I do not like. So that's the only, let me see if I can just get this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something else with this. See, it's just, that's the issue. I mean, you see me struggling with this. I'd have to get like a flathead screwdriver and kind of wedge it out and then pop out the batteries. But just to go without my finger, it's just a huge pain in the butt to do. So that's my only 3 critiques. The cons of this box mod is the magnets, how they're a little too easy to slide out the door. The switch, you push it down. Now I realize this is a mechanical switch, so I understand that, but it's still, you have to push the switch all the way down to make fire. And the batteries are a pain in the butt to get out. To get in, that's one story, but to get out, it's a whole different story. As far as, if you had a flathead screwdriver with you, I'd just kind of wedge it in, pop it out, that's done. But, doing with my fingers, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. It kind of depends on, how much I'm willing to just, force these things to come out. That's the only bad part about this box mod. So that's basically it, guys. I'm going to do in the other frame, do a few more toots for you guys. I still highly recommend this box mod, even though it has those 3 cons, but for the price, and you can't really complain. If you had any issues with broken parts of this box mod, you just talk to Cigreen. They have a pretty good, feedback response of replaceable parts or anything that went wrong with it. So that's basically it, guys. This is the Cigreen box mod. Pretty nice. Nothing I can't really complain about. I mean, this is how it was built. So I'm gonna go in the next frame. Alright guys, so hopefully that runs through it pretty well. I try to get as close up as possible of the box mod and the internals. There were 3 cons as you saw. Now those are just my complaints that may be different for some people. They may not think that's an issue, but for me, I like, the switch, that doesn't really bother me as much. That's kind of like, eh. But the magnets, I haven't, if I stick this in my pocket or something, it comes out pretty damn easy. I would have appreciated maybe a magnet at the top, or maybe 3 more magnets, I mean 1 extra magnet down below just for safety. So I mean, that's all something that you have to take into consideration when you buy these cheap box mods. But the battery issue, that's just, I kind of gotten used to it, and I just try to mess with it and try to get it off. It was pretty damn hard to get on the video off, and it's easy to get them in. It's just another story to get them back out. So Always something to keep in mind. But as far as the box mod, how it works, how it actually hits, that's what everyone's, worried about. Is it better than this one? Is it better than that one? This is a great box mod for the price. Don't get me wrong. If you guys don't have it and you guys have extra cash laying around, this is the cheapest box mod, one of the cheapest ones that's an authentic, made by Cigreen, and it hits amazingly well and it holds up for a pretty long time. I haven't ran into any issues with it so far. It's an all good, well built box mod. Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I have to say about it is that the clear one, it's great for if you want to, customize or something, or you want to keep it clear and see the internals of it. It's really nice. It's really well built. And like I said before, they have a great feedback. They give good feedback with their customers. So if you have any complaints or something, let's say you just bought it and then you notice that something wasn't built right, you can send it back, they give it back to you, that type of thing. So really good communication with Cigreen. Now I know that Cigreen makes a few RDAs. I've seen the Cigreen V2. It looks like the Mutation X, honestly. It's just a lot cheaper than the Mutation X. Now I did a review of the Mutation X V1 and V2. If you already haven't checked that out, please do. They're great RDAs for cloud chasing. Extremely easy to build on, super wide post holes, all that good stuff. I checked out the Cigreen X, V2. I'm looking at it. It looks the same thing as the Mutation X, only it's made by Cigreen. It just has Cigreen's name on it. That's it. But as far as that, I'm still sticking with the good old Mutation X with the Chuffin' of Half Moon top cap. It's my go-to, and it hits great with the Cigreen box mod. Alright guys, I'm going to end this video. In my next video, I'm going to do the Dark Horse review. So when I do that, guys, please check that out. It's going to be pretty sick. I made a few changes. I know people want to see the changes I made to it. Nothing too drastic, but I'm going to let you guys know in the video. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out.